Hey everyone, with you Elena Litvinova. In this video we will study how to develop a layout like that. Let's look at. We have a layout, desktop layout with a header, with some information and the gallery on the cover. So we will study how to develop this layout with animation as well, and we will use just only two technologies, Preact and TypeScript, and with as a builder. And we will not use any additional library for animation, and we will study how to develop this layout. This example I created by my own and put on open source on GitHub, and you can free download it and to play with me, to try and to use for your projects as you want. At the same time, in this lesson, we will study next things. First of all, how to start to develop layout on Preact or React. And also we will discuss why I decided to choose Preact and not use it React. We will also cover atomic design, approach atomic design, and how it's very cool to use for the not very large projects or maybe even for large projects. Also, we will speak about images and high quality images, where to find them, for example, for your website, for your project, and how to use them, and to read a license for understanding what you can use or what you can't use. Also, in this lesson, I will teach you how optimize images, different type of images. For example, if we have vector graphic or we have rastered graphic, and which format better to use, WebP, AVIF, JPEG, PNG, SVG. So we will discuss this part as well, and also that's not it yet. I will teach you how to find really cool layouts for your website and use it also for free, compare with license, even for commercial products. And everything around it I show you in this video, and we will discuss it. And also I explain how to start this awesome layout gallery and to use it for any purpose you want. But before, of course, not forget to subscribe on this channel, press bell icon, and go! Let's look on this layout. Here we have header, we have some images, and we just switch between them using arrows, right? And we have animation around it. How to develop it? You have used a lot of different approaches how you develop website. You can use just clear HTML, CSS, and JavaScript file for gallery, this gallery, and that's it. Just 3 files and you can start HTML on your computer very easily. But we live in a modern world, and in modern world, software engineers uses different frameworks to make application as faster as it possible, especially when you switch between pages, and React very help with it because you download only needed information for a special part of page, or when you switch between them, and save some part like header, not fully download the whole page. Basically, there are a lot of different libraries and frameworks to work in with single page application. It can be Angular, it can be how it's called, white, also Backbone, if you remember this one, MVC. But from 2016, I think, when I started to work at Artec, I started to study React and work with it on very good level, or maybe even a little bit early from the box. But anyway, I'm developed on React for quite a lot of time. It's over than 8 years. And I decided to use this framework, this library, and what to choose. What is Preact? Let's look on the documentation. If we go here, So Preact, it's an alternative to React with the same modern API, but it's lower, so it's much faster. As lower, any file you attach to your page, as your page more faster, right? And under hood, it has almost the same methods, hooks, and approaches. There are some differences, of course, but yes. From my personal opinion, if you have a large project, I prefer to use React because it's just very, very popular library which was developed by company Facebook, and they very support it, and yeah, because of it I might be just comfortable more with clear React. But here let's try to Preact. Okay, before to start any project, we need somehow to start the first layout, to start from something. For example, if we create just 3 files, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, we need to create them. How to start the project here? There is very cool alternative because Preact or React files, which is JS6 files with format JS6, they not read by browser by default. You need a compiler which move JS6 file into JavaScript file, and JavaScript file what the browser understand very good. And because of it, when you work with the libraries like Preact or React, you need a compiler. For that you can like a builder, which, for example, you type, you develop everything, and it, for example, at the same time transform TS6 file in JavaScript file, and you already see it in the browser. And you need a builder who is responsible for that, and you don't need to think about it. And there is very cool, powerful builder which is Vite. It's quite popular now. And for start with Vite, how you can read, Vite has become an incredibly popular tool for building application across many frameworks. So it's not only Preact or React, it's more. It's more languages. And this is about Vite. And I like it because you don't need to know anything about it. You just need console to start this command npm init preact. Of course, you need to install Node.js and npm as a part of Node.js. And after it, you just start this command, everything built for you. And after it, you just move to this folder and npm run dev, and that's it. The project works, and you can see it on the port usually 5173. But you will have quite clear page with one small architecture inside. Basically clear project, maybe if you watch me not first time, I use it with before. You have public, source, and this file as well, index.html, what is default one. And here you have already also some folders, CSS file, and index.tsx, which is the main important file from what your application start. This is like your project, which is under the hood. You not see it. It's transformed in JavaScript with a Vite builder. And here you, for example, I don't know, we have here, yeah, you see, oh, we almost touch index.tsx. Maybe I don't know everything about this world. Okay, go next. So I installed Preact, and next what I need to do is to develop something. I decided for current lesson to choose the layout like this and to create a desktop version of this layout. And how I create this layout, because I'm not web designer, but I can create some layouts on Figma because I have a quite lot experience working with different layouts, and I just understand the logic and how people manage it. But usually professional designers can use design systems and much deep approaches for building things, and of course much more faster than me. Yeah. And what should I do if I'm an engineer, I'm not very amazing web designer, and I want to find something bright, cool, and for developing? And you can use a Figma program, Explore Community. And here you basically can find a lot of different examples around different layouts, and even can create something for you using layouts like that. And it will be like your own design, because depend on license, you can use different layouts. For example, I use Portfolio, Future, Slider. And if you go here, you will be able to find almost the same layout, isn't it? And let's look here. For example, we have 3 screens, because this is gallery inside of it, and different image, different text here, and yeah. And what I did, I just copied it. Don't remember exactly how, maybe open in Figma. And also you should to read the license, and here you can read that you can use it and share for any purpose, even commercially. For me, that's important, because I share this example on YouTube, and YouTube is commercial platform. Because I can have some money if, for example, I will be able soon switch on monetization to have money from YouTube. Yeah, and you just need to read the license and try it. You can remix, transform, build, blah blah blah. Okay, I copied this layout, and when I did it, I found that the images, basically I very like these images and I wanted to use them. I like drawing illustration, because I also a little bit studied illustration, and just like layouts like that, bright with deep colors. And you can see that at least when I started to use it, this layout, it's quite large. It's desktop version, which is 1920 by width, and it is large. And I needed very good images for that. And I found when I use it, the images which was for original layout, they was exactly 1920 pixel by width. And for example, I have Retina display, and I seen pixels here, and I really don't like that, and I prefer and personally I think that as better picture you have on the background or different galleries and etc, we need as more high quality images, so to look it's very good. Where to find really cool images with high quality? You can make a photo by your own. Basically, I could, and it will be you will be the author, and you can use it because it is your photos. But if you want to some photos which you can't to do easily because you are not photographer, yes, for example, as me, I have a photo machine, but I'm not professional photographer. And for that, I can recommend you amazing website which is Pexels, and here you can find a lot of different images on different themes and just download them. And if we again go into the license, we can read that all photos and videos on Pexels are free to use. And how I understood, also for commercial purposes you can to use, because I not see here another words, but you not always can use for some purposes like sell posters, prints, to use it as your brand, or something like that, not show people in bad light. and something around it. But for this layout, I think everything is okay, because I decided to find some pictures here. I choose several pictures with animals, parrot, fox and squirrel, which is very, very bright and colorful and such a quality. Don't know how to say it better. And okay, I use this picture, and my layout for the example on YouTube is ready, and next one I need to develop it. Okay, I have a layout in the Figma, what I want to develop. I have started project which I called Motion Gallery, and I need somehow to develop it. Now, from which part I start? Usually I start from to understanding the layout and what I need for that, and save the most important parts. First of all, I save and optimized images. We have a static website, not dynamic one, where we have a database, PostgreSQL or any other database, and just download images from this part. We have a static website, so we need somehow to prepare all images. But anyway, if we even created the whole layout, we also needed to prepare all images and to put it in database, right? Okay. But before I save all images, for example, parrot, I save fox and engine, squirrel, and after it I start prepare them. Here we can speak about different formats of images. If we look on these images, we see that this is photos. They're very high quality, very good, but this is photos. It means there are a lot of different colors here, and it's like a lot of noise, and it's just a lot. For photos like that, the best format which you can use is JPEG format, because JPEG format usually about photos. Which types of formats we have in the web, in the browser? It's JPEG, PNG, GIF, SVG, also AVIF and WebP. It's new one. I think it can be more, but I think this is most popular and important. And first of all, I prepare images because they are all the same size, and like this on this. And I decided to use more size here, so to make it for Retina better. In this lesson, I will show you how to develop desktop layout. I haven't cared here about tablet or mobile phone. Because of that, I just prepare for desktop, large desktop version. First of all, I prepared images. It means minify them and work with them. I decided to use 2500 format. Usually for Retina display you should to double the image, but I decided to use a little bit lower. It's usually quite enough. First of all, I just cut them in Photoshop and prepare that all images was the same resolution. And for that I use usually Photoshop. From Photoshop I download JPEG format, and after it, when I have JPEG, I use tiny PNG for optimize these images and compress. This is my very favorite website for compressing images, and it make it very, very good. So you just can download them, and it can optimize even on 50-70% better. After it, when I optimize on good JPEG format, I decided to think how I can do that better, and here I started to think about different formats of images. We have photos. For photos, better to use JPEG, but we also have a new formats like AVIF and WebP. And I was thinking what to better to choose, and when I start to study can I use WebP, for example, format. It's special format for web browsers, and I found the support of this type of images, and I see that in Chrome they support very, very good from quite old versions, right? In Edge, the same basically. In Safari, just only I was worried a little bit because it started somehow support from release 2020, yes, September. And I believe that there are quite a lot of people maybe now who not use this or lower version. Don't know exactly, because I know the Apple can be quite annoying with the update version. Yeah, Apple one. And because of it, it can be okay. And if you look on different other images like Opera, Internet Explorer, we don't look at. We forget about this browser. Its last version was released in 2013, and I don't remember when it died. But 2015 developed for 11, even 9 version. Okay, currently we can finally forget about Internet Explorer. In the past, I even developed some website for Internet Explorer 6 because I'm a web engineer from 2010 year. And in 2010, we had Internet Explorer 6. Yes. For example, if you especially work at university and there you have libraries and etc., Internet Explorer 6 you could find at some government buildings. At least I'm from Russia and we had a lot of it there. Yeah, not very good version at all. But anyway, we not care about Internet Explorer now. And actually we even could see that WebP support an Opera Mini. Opera Mini, I use it in the past. I don't know anyone use it now. Because it's like a very old browser, but yes, it's interesting. And okay, I decided to try WebP format. Also, I compare it with AVIF format, and I found that differences. For example, when you convert JPEG to WebP, the size became lower and better, right? But when I compare AVIF and WebP, I didn't find any difference, high difference there, and because of it, I decided to use WebP. Why? Because WebP has AVIF has less support in the browsers. For example, Safari from 16 and Edge just only started to support this. Before it wasn't. And this is important when you develop here from 14. But anyway, this is important when you develop project that your layout was cross-browsing, so between browser was good, and cross-platform between operational systems. Okay, I choose WebP, and after it I have several images prepared and optimized JPEG, and I just converted to WebP with just conversion, I think this one. And they became smaller, and at the end I had some pictures like that. This is actually quite high, 500 kilobytes, it's quite a lot. But anyway, if you look on others, it's less. Yeah, but anyway, kilobytes, it's our life, isn't it? Okay, so I prepared the images. I did it in one version, so because I created this layout for desktop, for example, I need it for tablet and mobile, I should to have maybe at least 3 versions of photo for different devices, because if you use mobile phone, it's better to use smaller picture, because here we will not have, I mean, 1920, right? It's quite small screen. Okay, I prepared images, and what's next? Next, in layout, I also save icons. I found all icons and try somehow to save it and work with it. Okay, but before, let's speak a little bit more about different formats of images. So I spoke about JPEG when you have a photo. But when you should to use different others format, for example, PNG. PNG is very, very good for illustration, like which have some parts of colors. For example, this picture has around, I don't know, if we calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11. Okay, around 11, 12, around 12, 15 colors, different colors, and they are without any noise. And the author of this image, it's me. So it just, I can easily to show it. And yeah, and for these images, when there are no noise, better to use PNG format because it saves quite good different borders and there is no noise after. If you use JPEG, it can be some break pixels there even for this layout as well. So colors will not be smoothly. Also, it's about PNG 24. If you want somehow more optimized PNG format, might be to try PNG 8, but you can break some colors and it will not use very cool. Yeah. And also, what about there is GIF format? It's like a small video when you change image with several images and you have a small movie, for example. Here it's also depend on what's better to use, depend on size, of course. You can use also video, for example, not GIF animation. It's depend of how large photo you have, and yeah, just play around it. It's about GIF format, and also there is SVG format. It's a vector graphic, and if we go back to our layout, I also have some icons here. And go to the icons and SVG format. So icons quite small, they have the same color usually, and how usually people can work on the layout with icons. They can use, for example, font. Sometimes you can install special font with icons. I think inside of it uses SVG format as well, because there are different formats of font which uses inside. It can be OTF, TTF, and SVG, depend on browser it's which. Okay, and but in my experience, the best format for icon is SVG because it's vector graphic, and you can make the icon very large, very small, and every time it will look awesome and smooth. Not depend how large the image is, because it's mathematics. The image is like mathematics, and we'll look at it now. So, but what about SVG format? Better for SVG format, use small images like icons. If you will try to use large image, you will have a very large file and maybe a very, very large size of this file. Because of that, you should to have balance and to find the better decision for everything. Usually SVG used for icons, and maybe small pictures, just also to play. I should to say that SVG format is the best one because it's really very amazing for scaling. This image also able to do in SVG format because I drew these images in Adobe Illustrator, and saved it as a vector graphic. And because of it, yes, SVG. I download here, export, and use SVG format. And yeah. Also, you can't use SVG format to JPEG because there are a lot of noise. So usually, in that case, you will see in the SVG file something around data image and pass like that. So it's not very good. Okay, go next. So I saved all images and I put it to icons. I little bit soon explain the architecture here, but anyway, I put it in icons, and all icons which we had on the layout, arrows, logo, search sign, I put here. And we have different paths, how you might be remember I spoke about, and as large image, as large paths you have, or maybe several paths, it depends on how difficult is the image. And for example, just for sun, look at it, we have quite large image, you know. And I decided to use SVG here, and after it also needs somehow to optimize. And there are a really very cool library which is SVGO. I already tried it before, and we just can start and it optimized. Now SVGO library, you can install it in npm. It's remove all spaces, optimize path and make it better. And for example, if we do this thing and we return to sun, we see that all spaces removed, everything like optimized, and yeah, it helps. And like that I prepared all SVG. Also, it's very cool for SVG, especially for icons, use sprites, but here I didn't use sprites. I need to study how to better do it for width, and decided just use SVG. Also SVG cool that you can, because you have basically like something around HTML, and you can change the color very easily, just to say it in CSS file. And because of it, SVG also have a cool inspiration, don't know how to say, because you can change color of icons like for font as well. Yeah, if for example you use for icons PNG format or something else, you can't change color. That's not very good. Okay, so we spoke about images. So I prepared all icons. I prepared all images for our gallery. What next I study? Usually it is fonts. Which type of fonts this layout use? If you use Figma for developing, there is an amazing plugin, Font Fascia. Font Fascia. If we go to plugins, Font Fascia, and we can find which types of font we use, this layout use. It's Roboto and Viga. And we need to find the font and to use it under the license. And lucky for us, this font is available on fontsgoogle.com, and you can find it here, for example, Viga, and use it for free. Here also it was somewhere license, but I don't remember exactly where. I remember that I read it one time, and everything you can use for free and for commercial goals as well. You can try to find anyway. And here what I did, I just choose all needed fonts I need, and it looks basically like, you know, like it might be better here to do. Fonts, Google, for example, if you go to Roboto, we can go to this font and select. And how we see in this layout, we have regular, we have bold, and we go regular. And we can choose as well regular one. After it bold, it's 700. And also find a Viga. And to install this one, and also select, here is just only regular without any bold. And what we have, how to use it, we can use it inside of a style file to import like that. You actually can see here family, Roboto and Viga and etc. Or you can put these links into your HTML file into the header. And this is very cool way, because Fonts Google can use around of different websites. And for example, if you use internet, it can already download the same family before on any other website, and it means when you go on our website, it will use cache, and will not download second time, you know. And we can just install this font, and that's it. I decided to use this approach, so to copy links. And yeah, this is actually I just opened the rules license, how you can use Google Fonts. All Google Fonts are open source and are without cost, just a little bit. Yeah, so I decided to copy this, and I put this into index HTML file, which was created with builder with, and so I put it here, just copy paste, and that's it. And after it, we have fonts, we have prepared images, we have prepared icons, and we can start develop our layout in our approach. Yes. So we are working with Preact, and as is with React the same. It means that we work with JavaScript. So we usually a browser show HTML, not usually, always, I think. Not sure that always. Might be there are different formats as well, but anyway, we show HTML. And we have a special tag here, which is up. And the side of this tag, through JavaScript and converted this thing in might be one file, I believe, yeah, index.tsx. This file built every other HTML elements and put it and add actions and etc. and etc. And we need to create an HTML. So what's next? When we prepare images, when we prepare Google Fonts, maybe not Google Fonts, we need to think about architecture, how we will develop this project. This gallery basically very simple, and how I said at the beginning of this video, you can use just HTML, CSS and JavaScript 3 files and make it quite easy. Just one CSS, one JS4 gallery and one HTML file. But because we use a Preact approach, here usually we use components for building things. It's like a constructor for you have logo, you have title, you have navigation, you have navigation as well, menu, and you have maybe options. And everything you use like a constructor and put in different places. And React is very cool that you can use different design system, for example, and have independently components and just use them as constructor. And for example, when you build a site, you create a lot of different elements and just use them with a special grid. And for example, about design system, my favorite one is Undesign, and I truly like it. And here we have a components, we have grids, we have menu, and you just develop things independently like that, like components, and after it you will use it in different places. Yeah, data picker, color picker, form, and etc. and etc. Because we develop this layout by our own, we need to somehow create any component approach. And in that case, I decided to use atomic design, so to divide on atoms, molecules, organisms, pages, and templates. Okay, and if we look on the article about atomic design, so we can study what it means quite shortly. It is design system for application which you can use and which consists from atoms, molecules, organisms, templates, and pages. And if we try to explain it a little bit better, so atom is the smallest part of your website. Molecules can consist several atoms. Organism, it's consist molecules and more difficult thing, and also templates and pages. And okay, if you go to atoms, it's usually basic building blocks of matter. So we have, for example, label, input, search, everything extremely simple. This is atoms, very small thing. It's like a biology, right? So extremely small thing. We all consist from atoms. Next thing which we can find, it's molecules. Things start getting more interesting and taggable when we start combine atoms together. So, but that's not large components when you combine them. That like, for example, we have title, we have input, and we have a button. Like we combine everything about it. So this atom, this atom, this atom, and we combine it together, and it's like a small molecule, but not very large. And we combine things like that. Next is organism. It's when we have different molecules, for example, menu, search, navigation, maybe logo, and organisms consist from molecules and atoms. Here it's wrote that only molecules, but I believe sometimes we just need just an atom somewhere, right? And for example, this is header. It's like a large block like organism or any other large part. And what's next? Next is template. I think actually that maybe this is about grids. When you try to template for the page and somehow to put information, for example, template, we have here image, have text, here like image with text, video, and blah blah blah. And last one is pages. It means that we have the whole page, for example, home page, and here we somehow to show it, and in that case we use pages. And I truly like that approaches because it's very easy for using, and it have some rules which you can use and divide your folders in consistent way. Firstly, I start from reset styles. For example, I have index T6, and here how you see we have render. We basically put it at HTML, and here we have header and home. Header it's organism and home it's a page, and I decided not use any router for between pages, just to create one single layout. And so we have header and we have home, and just only one page. But before we also have reset styles and some global styles. On all layouts I prefer to use reset CSS for clear styles for all different browsers. For example, we have a lot of different browsers: Safari, Firefox, Google Chrome, Opera. They have sometimes the same engine, but anyway, they have beginning styling of them. For example, size of titles, list, and etc. They can be slightly different between browsers and between operation systems. And because of that, very need to use any reset and clear this, so make every single browser the same. Also, there is normalization styles, but I don't like it because if you create a layout, normalization styles, it's when there is a title, H1, for example, large one, and from all browser you make it the same size, right? So they also normalize between browsers. I don't like it because normalization, it's like if I have a layout, I already have title like that, and it's not like it will be in normalization. In normalization, you have quite large file, basically with a high size. It's larger than reset, and after it, you anyway need to change it. I mean, to change title size, text size, text space, and etc. I think it's possible to use if you are really want to use these normal styles without any changes. In that case, maybe it works. In other case, I not believe that it works, and I prefer to use reset CSS. Because of that, before any styling of layout, I use reset CSS. It's one of popular reset CSS which I download in the internet. There are a lot of different things around that, and you just can Google and just download anything. It's quite easy, basically, not so many files attached. Even I can say that, for example, this is old one because HTML5 support for quite long time, and we will not support older browsers, to be honest, which use HTML4. But anyway, I use this, not thinking about it, and that's it. Next thing, it says first style, it's global style, where I put robot as a main font because it's a base font here. For example, this text, I just choose some, how much text one font you have, and this is my font, Roboto. And this is HTML tag root. And after it's some default styles, usually default styles I pick up from how much font one thing you have, the same. Don't know how to explain it better, but when you analyze the layout, you should to find the font which looks like a default, like not title, not maybe list, just plain text, and it will be default. And we use it here, yes, and yeah, put it here. And I just put it some sizes. Also I put background which is dark green because we have white background, and I decided that, for example, when images is not downloaded yet, it can be delay in the internet while we will see the image, and we will see a dark green background, and we'll be able to read the information and to start to read the information. It's a global styles, and I put it here. All other files, if you install Preact with Vite, firstly I removed. Basically there you can find first architecture already. Next thing which I created, it's components, and how I said, I decided to use atomic design for components and just build everything like that. In atoms I put icon and container, but container may be an organism. I didn't know where better to put it. Maybe it's even template, like you know, like a grid for put different items, yeah. But okay, I decided to put it atoms. If you are not agree, write a comment and we will discuss. Okay, and let's start. Now icon is just very simple component which just function in React with icon name and size. I decided to create 3 sizes, small, medium, large, and some differences between them. So basically I made it very easy, a little bit lazy. And for arrow left we have background image, right background image, very easy did it. And for large, medium, small size, it's like that. Usually for icons, cool to use like square, and because you can have a lot of different icons, for example large one, and they will be different. But here I decided to be very simple because I had just 3 different type of icons. This is large one, this is I think might be small one, 2 of them, and this is medium one, 2 icons, and that's it. This is I not did, so and this is not icon. No, this is not icon, it's just list with empty circle. Yeah, and what next? In icon I also put display block and no repeat and la la la. It's just only background. What is not good about these icons? Because we can't change color here, I use it like a background image. And this is okay. Maybe in future videos I somehow to study how to work with sprites and SVG in Vite, and we will discuss it. For now it's just like that. And here I put all icons, how I said, which I saved. It's icon component. Okay, that's cool, and I created icon component like that. I use TypeScript with component props extents, which have class name. Just between different components you always have class name. And icon name, because I use it in different parts, I created common TypeScript file. Okay, and here we have icon props. We have props like that, icon name, size, and I not put here class name, but it was basically normal. For what it need, because for example, if you have an icon and you use it somewhere and you need to add margin, padding, or some styles around this icon, and you can add it through additional class name. Also, for icons I use just simple span, so it's just neutral HTML element, and inside of it I use library class names, which very cool, help you concatenate different styles. For example, class name, style icon name, styles icon name, styles icon, and size. Everything in this model. Icon, size, large, medium, small, and icon name, this thing. This is dynamic styles. We use modulus here. It means that when we start the browser, our project, each style will have a special hash, and it's very help between different files, so you will not have conflicts in CSS, because if you have the same class in different files, you will have conflict and you can reset previous styles. It depends, CSS which is lower, have more priority. Of course, it's depend on, because there are some rules there. But anyway, and to have a hash, it's very cool thing. Okay, and there are just several styles here, class name from icon name, styles icon, and style size, which I just cover here, and that's it. And icon is ready. Container I decided to use for stylish spaces, like between in header and in the body, the main body, plain body, don't know. And here I have header and container types, and by default it's container, so it's need for these lines. I don't have here a special grid or something like that. This container, it's very simple. I just use padding little bit, and for header padding as well. So if you go here, we will be able to see that there are 3 elements and this container with paddings. And as well, we a little bit later make how elements put in this container. Okay, now I created atoms like that. Go to molecules. Here I put actions, logo, navigation, options, and promo. What is what? This is action, so the whole navigation. Promo is this thing, so the text. This is option, this is navigation, and this is logo. So it means it consists maybe from several from atoms, right? Here it's icon, here icon plus text, here it's just navigation, but yeah. And we can go through all of them. For example, if we pick up actions, it's this thing with navigation. We need to make it dynamically. So for example, we can use it in this gallery, in any another gallery. For example, we have 100 galleries on one page, the same, yeah? Of course, you always seen this. But anyway, we should do think in programming in scalable way, and because of it, when we create actions, we have here what happened on click next, on click pref, active fingers, amount, and class name. And these props which we have, basically we like create a small library, but it's just actions. And here we make all calculation around all of this information which we have. We create 2 buttons, which is basically icon arrow left, arrow right. We have this line. We add 0 if it's needed, but actually this is not very good way maybe, because it's need just to play with numbers more than 10. But I decided to make a border for this navigation, not to have over than 10 images. after it, I think I created an error. And because of that, this works, because we have 0, 1, 0, 3. And here you can't have over than 10 images. I put these rules in another file in the gallery. Here we have a line with dynamic styles, which basically calculate, depend on max number of amount. We calculate max number and we understand which is width we have and how left we should to put it. Because of it, it's basically dynamic. So you see. About animation. Animation I used just CSS, very easy. I have here for, if we look on, I can save it. If we go here, you can see that there is actions line and action slide. But I think action slide, and inside of it we also have a span. Like that. And this is our line, right? And I need to animate the only line. Because of it, I make a transition left here, left changes in the component, and so we have so awesome effect, like it's smoothie, la la la, bam bam, tum 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 tum. Yeah, and yeah, everything else like with font and just simple CSS art. Okay, and yeah, make like that. And second button also need to put here on click and make it as it is. And yeah, also using model CSS, and here some stylish, all stylish is here. Yeah, and also I should to say that I use SCSS, so I will be able to use approach like that. After transformation it in single CSS, it will be just a class like dot actions button. Transform in this, and in CSS it will be looked for very fast, just simple class. But you can use ampersand before this thing, because of I use it as CSS, it allows us to use simple CSS that way. Next thing is logo. It's very easy. There are icon inside of it, span with 2 titles and just some stylish of a logo. Navigation, I make it actually quite hard way. I put already navigation here because I was thinking it not change between side, but if it change, better to put navigation outside where you use this component. And if you want to do any homework, you can try to make it and to refactor a little bit. Yeah, and we have here all, we have Lee, and just to show navigation is this part. And here we have navigation, we have link, hover, and blah blah blah. It's very easy basically because it's just line of text like psh, and that's it. And just display flag, some gap, and etc. I not make it very responsive, but I add some things for future, so responsive will be easy to create. Okay, this is navigation. Next one is options. And in options, for example, we have just 2 options. This is 1, 2. I make it very easy and very fixed as well, with just a list from couple of elements, and there I put icons straight away how it looks like. But you also can think about how to do this better, for example, to use template and, for example, like a grid and I don't know, I put links here, but it depends how search, for example, should work, or how this thing should work, because it looks like change of theme, maybe from white to black one. This one looks like maybe search, and maybe if you click it, animated, open it, we don't know. Because of it, it depends how to do it better, but we just create a layout, first step of layout. Yes, we not care about everything in this lesson. And yeah, I created option like that. Promo, it's this thing, promo. And here I just use H2, H1 and paragraph. Actually, I think that maybe it's not H1 because H1 should be just only one on a page. But it looks like H1 and it's need to think maybe, for example, if you create a gallery with pre-upload next image, but firstly you upload just only first and you have HTML with only first screen, first slide, and next one you pre-upload using only JavaScript. And maybe in this case it will work because we will have quite clear CSS and the most important title will be like design. Next one, motion and engine, it's not very important, and in that case H1 will be H1, the most important title on the page. Next one, we have paragraph of text like this and just it. And there are I added some styles for that, and yeah. And my molecules finished, and next one is organisms. And how I explained it before, organisms, they consist from molecules, and so we have here header, we have here a gallery, just two pieces, header and gallery, and the whole our layout consists from them. What we have here, we have header, and in header I just have header, HTML tag. I have container. Container is just about spaces, how I said before, and here I add class name for making a grid exactly here, because we have logo, we have maybe logo, navigation and options. Yeah, and we put components here and added some styles, class names, if we need to change something. And just do some styles, and I added here a small background with alpha, transparent, 50% transparent, for making this effect, so add more contrast, because on the squirrel, for example, if here it's quite normal, looks like, there it's very, very bad, there is almost lost information, and because of it I decided to use just contrast. And container, navigation, something center, somewhere to put with, and we created this. Go to cover gallery. I think it's the most important component here. The whole layout consists from cover gallery. And what we have here, this is like a library which you can use 100 million times on one page, on any other page of your website. It should be like very independent from images, from etc. and etc. And how I decided to develop it? I decided to push as a prop slides, which consist ID, background image and content. And start index, from which index we should to start. Here we can also put much more options. It can be loop, it can be play if the gallery always change, And here we can put much more options. And anyway, we have how we will write it. It's like an independent library, but it's component. I put here if slide is over than 10, I threw new error, because I decided that if it will be more than 10 slides here, it will very small things about it, and I decided that for cover gallery we shouldn't have like 1 million photos, but depend on you. If you need, you can do everything what you want. It's your responsibility. And here we use state. We start from index. We have active index and set active index. Inside of it we have main, like our main layout. There we have gallery. And here we also have container for put our information inside this square or block of information. Maybe about HTML here, maybe possible to use like article and sections layout, sections HTML tag, because I imagine that this is just cover, and later you can put a lot of much more different blocks with different information. For example, if it's your portfolio, you can put your photo with information about you, how awesome you are. After it might be some recent project, maybe blog, maybe news. So homepage usually gathers the all important information about your site in small pieces, and you just can switch between them and go independently on the concrete area, like different sections, different pages. It is like that. Inside of it we have content. First I divided slides and I divide backgrounds, because when we click between slides you see that backgrounds has opacity transformation animation. Content, they think, has like effect like scaling, different animation. Because of it I decided to use it like that. And we have actions, of course. Actions is this navigation, and just use it everything. We created slides, we created divs for content, we have active slide, depend on active index, we have actions, we also calculate everything here about on click, pass active index there, everything there changes. And we have also background images and create several divs with active index as well. In CSS, I make this transformation very easy. I just use transition field and transform scale for content. Yes, for active we have 1, opacity 1. Here we have opacity 0 and transform scale 0.5 and transition for all properties, possible properties, with 300 milliseconds. And here we also have transition effect, we have position, we have opacity here from 0 to 1. And I just make CSS like put layout on the back with fixed, because for example, if we we scroll, right, and the background is fixed, and if we make it larger, you see that every good scaling by the vertical. And yes, that's it. And this is our cover gallery. Action consists from organism or maybe atoms somewhere, I don't know. Yeah, and this is cover gallery, and it's almost everything. And because I said made here that we have header and home page, header usually repeat between pages, but it depends how difficult website you have, and you will change your architecture. And as difficult your website became, you just a little bit refactor all the time, and it is one of the best approach. Not try to create the best architecture at the beginning, because you failed 100%, because you not always know everything what will be happen next, especially if it's growing business. You don't know everything what customer will want or which ideas will be appear, and you need be flexible. It's cool to use some base approach and just next we develop it. Okay, and we have home page here and header, which I just decided it's the same between page, but here we just have only one header, we don't have a lot of pages. If we go to pages, we have just home here, and what we have here, just cover gallery, and that's it. Yeah, if for example you have a lot of blogs about your page, cover gallery, information about you, any grid, I don't know, and etc, you just put it here, and that's it. Cover gallery, here all slides as an array. So we have ID, we have background, we have component. Here we use promo, different text. We can basically add more HTML here, I don't know, it's depend on, it's very flexible. We created our cover gallery very flexible. And we attach images as well. So, and basically that's it. So the layout is ready. You can download it and to try to play, to manage and to use for any purpose which you want on my GitHub and to play with it. I think this example very good for people who start to study React and play with it. And yeah, and if you need this awesome gallery, there is no way not to use it. Yeah, I put it all code on GitHub and I hope, yeah, and I put the link into the description into this video. If you want to support my channel, you can use Stripe and buy me a coffee. I will drink next time. And also what, not forget to subscribe on this channel, press bell icon and like button. Press subscribe, like button and bell icon. And see you in next videos. I hope this lesson was very helpful for you and you started something new. And of course I return and we will see in next video. Love you all. Thank you for watching. With you, Elena Litvinova. Bye bye.